why men defend women who have bad behavior. Why do men defend women's bad behavior? There's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot of psychology behind this. And there's two major reasons. There's two major causations of this, basically. The first one is a sense of protection, right? A sense of honor, the whole white knight theory, right? That's the first one. The second one is they benefit from defending women's bad behavior because they are trying to encourage women's bad behavior. These are the slimy male feminists, the phony female supporters, right? Oh yeah, I'm a male feminist. I'm all for women's rights. Meanwhile, they're wolves in sheep's clothing, and they're really just trying to encourage the women to sleep around so they can get some pussy. Okay? Those are the two major things. All right. So the first one is I'm not as mad at the first one as I am at the second one. Although they're both wrong ultimately, and they're both messed up ultimately. And the lines between the two are often blurred, and they're often, it's hard to tell, they can very easily be blended together. A guy can be one of these, white knight male, female defenders, but also kind of have ulterior motives. Like, hey, I want to defend a female so that I can get some. Right? She'll reward me for defending her honor. She'll reward me with sex, right? The male feminist is like, I'm going to attack any guy who's exposing female promiscuity. I'm going to attack any guy who is going to, call out women's bad behavior, because secretly I benefit from women's bad behavior, because I'm the guy who, gets laid from the female's bad behavior, right? These guys are both, secretly they have agendas, okay? And the agendas are, they want the benefits from defending women ultimately. So this is why men defend females' bad behavior. And the irony within that whole scenario is that they're both misogynists. That's what's so funny about the whole thing. They're both misogynists, right? Because if we're talking about equality, if we're talking about, women can do anything a man can do, women deserve all the respect a man deserves, then guess what? They don't need you to defend them. If she's the same as a man, she doesn't need you to come in and defend them, right? If she can, do everything a man can do, if everything is all equal, like they claim, like the feminists claim, then what does she need you guys for? The reason why these guys come out of the woodwork, the reason why these guys are upset when you call out women on their bad behavior, the reason why these guys are so mad at any guy telling the truth or speaking any red pill terminology about women is because the more truth you speak about women, the more you call out women's bad behavior, the less good it is for them, right? Say a man, we start stigmatizing loose sexuality. Say it actually works. Say women actually start to be ashamed of their loose sexuality. And then all of a sudden, they start to change. Then all of a sudden they say, yeah, you know what, you're right. I don't want to be just some loose slut. You know, I know people don't respect that. I know that's a moral woo-woo, right? Well, then these guys don't get any. They don't get any. Out of the two, the white knight female defender is the more misogynistic one, right? He's more sexist. The irony of white knights is they're actually sexist, right? This whole white knight, I respect, you know, you meet these guys in life. I respect women, woo woo woo, and I, you know, I'm going to defend her honor. Why? She can't defend it herself? I thought we all think, you know, women should be respected. Well, if she's going to be respected, then she should have accountability. She should have a voice. She should, you know, be able to defend herself. But, you know, unfortunately, these guys are actually sexist. And it's a weird kind of clusterfuck of, you know, ideas and concepts, because, you know, women will use men like that. They'll use men like that for several things. Like, oh, he's defending me, so therefore I'm going to use him to attack the guy that is judging me for being a slut. I'm going to use the weak male, or the you know, the soulless white knight, right? the white knight or male feminist who has no self-respect. I'm going to use this guy to help me attack these red pill guys who are telling the truth about us women. And you see this all the time, right? Men are only useful, men are only necessary to women as long as we're useful. If we have no use, we might as well be invisible. If we're not, you know, fulfilling their hypergamy by providing for them, they don't want anything to do with us. If we're not really good looking and they can get sex from us, they don't want anything to do with us. If we're not defending their honor, which, by the way, sluts and, you know, whores have no honor. There's no honor in that. There's no honor in being loose and promiscuous. Like, what are your kids going to think? What are your, you know, are you being respectable to society, to your parents? Are you honoring your parents by going out and sleeping around? No. But society's become so lax in morality. Society's become so degraded that it's okay. It's okay to be a slut. It's okay to sleep around. There's nothing wrong with that in today's society. It's like it's normal. It's like they're just like, oh, everybody likes sex, so therefore it's okay. Like, sure, everybody likes sex, but sex is damaging. Promiscuity, there's consequences. Abortions, you got to murder babies to cover up your poor decisions, right? And people make that whole argument that, oh, it's just a clump of cells, it's not a baby, it's not a human being. Have you ever seen an aborted fetus? Bullshit, if that's not a human being. That's a little tiny baby, right? It's not a clump of cells. Like, technically we're a clump of cells. Humans are technically just a clump of cells. These sick, perverted people who kill 500,000 babies a year through Planned Parenthood and then turn around and call them parasites. I mean, that's just sick. And that's a result. It's a result of promiscuity. STDs, right? You know, all kinds of dangers there. People lying about not having STDs. Women lying about not having STDs. You can't just blame the men. Like, you know, although they tried to, and they, you know, because the men are always the scapegoats, right? We're always at fault. Broken hearts, domestic violence, right? Infidelity, the cost of divorce. The list goes on and on. Promiscuity is not good for society. Yet people today argue and say, no, morality is subjective. Like, they just can't It's not that they can't, it's that they won't. They won't accept the facts. They won't accept the facts. Hey, yeah, it's fun. You know, sex is fun. It's great. It's fun. But guess what? There's consequences, okay? Not always, but there's consequences. So, they'll try to argue left and right, up and down, that there's no consequences for sex, right? And these male feminists, these white knights, they'll say the same thing. They'll come out of the woodwork and talk their shit about how, she can do what she wants with her body. Who are you to judge? Hey man, I'm just the guy who has to live in this society with the kids of these whores, right? Who are going to grow up probably without a dad, going to grow up to be criminals, right? Going to grow up with no morals, just like their mom, And even if she changes her ways, and even if she doesn't do that anymore, she's going to have a trail. There's going to be videos out there, right? People act like, oh, there's so much porn out there. Like, hey, you never know. You'll never see it. Bullshit. What if one of his friends is watching the video and sees his friend's mom and shares the video, right? Hello. Kid's going to be scarred. He's going to be embarrassed. He might commit suicide. He might drop out of school. He might anything. Like, you don't know. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, you have no, like, hey, if you're not going to have kids, whatever, like, I guess do what you want. Although, I mean, obviously that's not, obviously it's going to affect somebody. Porn is, you can Google it. Porn is not like healthy. Like, there's no, I mean, I'm not saying it's like as bad as drugs, but porn addiction is a real thing. Porn causes divorce. It's a fact, right? Porn causes mental illness. Anyway, but you'll see these two guys. You'll see these white knights, and you'll see these male feminists. And the reason why they defend women is because they're sexist. They're fundamentally sexist. They want to remove accountability. And this is what sluts and whores want to do anyways. They want to, it's like, on the one hand, they say, oh, you can't judge me and you can't tell me what to do with my body. But on the other hand, they'll attack you for not accepting them, for not accepting immorality. They'll attack you. You're this and you're that. It's like, you're a hypocrite, dude. Like, on the one hand, you're telling me not to judge you, but you can't accept the fact that I think it's immoral. And then they'll say things like, oh, morality is subjective. Morality is subjective. Well, where's the line drawn? I can make the same argument for pedophiles. Oh, morality is subjective, right? So it's really ignorance. It's I don't even know if ignorance is the right word. It's willful rebellion, right? Willful rebellion. I can do what I want with my body. It doesn't affect anybody. That's where you're wrong. It does affect society. So, I mean, it's there. Probably not going anywhere. Doesn't mean it's not affecting things. Doesn't mean promiscuity is not bad. It's just because it's there. So, I mean, how many suicides, right? How many domestic violence cases? How many murder cases are results of these things, right? They don't hear about that. We don't have statistics for those kind of things because it's usually not how statistics work. You can't say, well, the motive was his girlfriend cheated on him, so he killed her, right? The motive for this suicide is, he got dumped because his girlfriend was cheating or whatever. That's not how they do things. They just say, well, The guy committed suicide. They don't say why, because oftentimes they don't even know why. But we know why. Like, I mean, we don't know every case, but how many, right? I'm sure a lot. I'm sure it happens a lot. So you can't say it's not bad. You can't say that promiscuity and all these things, doing porn, etc., is not bad. So these guys who are defending it, they're defending, bad things. They're defending the degradation of society, really. And they're sexist. Frankly, they're sexist. So, I just want to talk about that. I meet these kind of guys a lot. White knights, male feminists. They're the ones who, for whatever reason, they're, and women are choosing these kind of guys, right? Because there's a safe haven with these guys. These guys don't judge me, right? What they're really saying is these guys don't hold me accountable to anything. What they're really saying is around these guys, I don't have to have any standard. Around these guys, I can be a slut and still be accepted. Like, no, no. And you want to know what? It's ruining your character. It's ruining your character. The more you're promiscuous, the more your character is affected. Quality men see it. We see it. We can tell when a girl's loose. We can tell. And you say, oh, don't judge me. Well, women judge men all the time. Oh, what kind of career does he have? How much money does he make? They judge us, so we damn well are going to judge you. And then what they want to say is, well, you're judging me, then I'm going to take my sex away. I'm going to take my pussy away. You'll never get laid, and you're an incel, right? What they're effectively doing there is they're throwing a temper tantrum because you're not taking their shit. Because you're calling them out on their bullshit. So they attack you, right? And there you go. This is how these things, this is how the stigma for these things gets pushed away. Because they can't admit that that's wrong. Can't admit that, hey, you know what? What you're doing has consequences. There's side effects to this, right? It's like, yeah, I get it. It's fun. And in some cases, if you're good looking enough, it's profitable. If you know what you're doing. Which is sad in and of itself. That men would actually pay for something like that. All right, these simps who pay for porn when it's free. Who pay for OnlyFans, right? To encourage her to be a skank. So, yeah, man, fucked up shit. I would say, honestly, these guys are enemies to women. The irony is, the guys who are telling the truth, we actually love women. We want women to do better. That's the difference. The guys who are like, yeah, babe, you're beautiful. There's nothing wrong with you. It's okay, you could be a whore. I like it, it's fine. I don't judge you, I'm not judging you. These guys are the ones who really don't care about her, right? If they really cared, they'd be like, hey, put some clothes on, have some self-respect. You could be a good mother. You could be a good girlfriend and wife to some guy. Instead, you're just being a whore. Like, knock it off. And then I question, do these people even have morals to begin with? Right? I question if these people, like, who raised these people? Like, who raised you? Like, do you have morals? Do you know what is even good? I mean, in my worst days, when I was sleeping with girls left and right, I knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong. Like, I'm not like, I mean, like, yeah, it was fun. You know, it's fun. It's fun getting laid. But it's wrong and it's dangerous. And I knew it was dangerous. It's scary. Having sometimes unprotected sex with loose girls or loose, girls having unprotected sex with loose guys. Like, come on, it's wrong. It's dangerous. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. But I often wonder that people can't admit that to themselves. Like, hey, wait a minute. This is wrong. This is not right. Like, oh, okay, so porn is okay. We live in a porn culture. It's cool. We can go have sex. Like, no. First of all, a lot of times in pornography, they actually do STD testing. I think it's required now in California. So, are you making the guy take an STD test? Right? It's some creepy shit, man. It's really some creepy shit. So these guys, these white knights, these women defenders, right? They're not doing women any service by that shit. They're not really standing up for the woman's honor. In fact, they're dishonoring her. Yeah, babe, you can go be a slut. You can go be a slut. Like, do you care about her at all? What if she gets an STD? Right? Women can die from genital warts, HPV, human papillomavirus, or whatever. Like, they can get cervical cancer and die from it. It's deadly for some women. So do you care? HPV is very common, extremely common, right? I think it's more common than herpes, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it's like 50-60% of people who have herpes, or excuse me, 50 or 60% of people who are sexually active, having 3 or more partners in the last year or whatever, have herpes. And I think HPV is more common than herpes. So come on, bro. Like, you don't care about her. You're not defending her honor. And if you think so, then you're dumb. Like, that's a twisted way to think. Like, that's just a twisted way to think, man. Like, yeah, I'm defending her honor by enabling her to be a slut. It's like, no, you're not. It's not honorable. And you're putting her in danger, dude. Like, you don't care about her. And you're being sexist. Like, she can't defend herself. Right? Because if you really get to the core of it, these guys, they really do think that women are weaker than men. They really do think that. That's why they jump in. Hey, man, why are you disrespecting a woman? Like, oh, okay, well, I thought she was equal to men. So are you saying she doesn't have any responsibility because she's a woman? Are you saying she doesn't have any accountability because she's a woman? That's pretty condescending. That's pretty sexist, bro. That's pretty, so that's pretty misogynistic, man. She's a woman. So you better treat her nicely, man. Like, why? I don't treat guys nicely. Why would I treat a woman any differently? I thought we were all equal here, buddy. Hey, man, you're being a misogynist by talking bad about women. No, bro, I think you're being a misogynist by standing up for a woman under the pretense that she can't stand up for herself. You fucking white knight asshole. Like, these guys, man, they come out of the woodwork and they jump on you for saying anything bad, right? Even abortion. Like, I can't think of anything more despicable for a woman than to kill her own kid, particularly in the cases where they do it without the father's consent or even his knowledge, because it's totally legal. They don't have to tell the dad that they're pregnant. They don't have to tell him. They just go and get an abortion. 500,000 abortions a year in the United States on average through Planned Parenthood. I mean, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like, where do you get off? Where's the reality in that? Where's the truth in that, dude? Like, yeah, I'm just going to defend women because that makes me feel more like a man. Okay, that's sexist. I'm going to defend women because that makes me more powerful. Okay, that's misogynistic. I'm going to defend women because no woman is, no man should say anything bad about a woman. Okay, that's condescending. Like, let her defend herself. Why wouldn't we say that it's not bad to say anything bad about, or it's bad to say anything bad about anybody? Why are women special? Like, people say bad shit to other people all the time. Why wouldn't all of it be bad? Don't say bad shit to anyone. Why are women special, right? But this is social conditioning, right? Oh, women and children in the boat first. Like, there's no real equality when you really break it down. Like, that's not really equality. No, not really equality, because men get called on their shit by other men. So when we call women on their shit, then people want to come out of the woodwork, but nobody cares when men call out other men on their shit. It's all silent. Women don't come to our defense. Why would they? It didn't benefit them in any way. Women don't defend men. This whole lie that feminists care about men too. No, you don't. I follow a bunch of feminist pages. They never talk about men's rights. They never talk about, men suffering. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. That's a bunch of hot pile of bullshit, man. That's a bunch of garbage. Feminists don't care about men. Sorry, they care about women. They only care about men as long as the men are useful to them. They only care about men as long as the men are benefiting and supporting them in some way. Whether it's financial, whether it's political, whether it's social, the men have to be benefiting them in some way, or else they do not care. They do not care. Okay? That's just the truth. Never once have I heard a feminist ever talk about caring about men in any way, shape, or form, unless that man was defending her or supporting her in some way. Okay? That's why I know the whole movement is full of shit. That's why I know that the whole movement is hypocritical. All right? And I've been following this shit for many, many years. I'm not just some guy with an opinion. I've been interacting with these people for at least 8 years, maybe 10 years total. Between 8 and 10 years, I've been interacting with these people, feminists and white knights, etc. People online, political, from liberals to conservatives to libertarians to independents to moderates, neocons, right? Centrists, all of them, right? Libertarians, I think I already said that, but I've been interacting with these people. I know what they believe. I know how they really feel. Okay, so anyways, guys, I'm going to end it there. I do appreciate you listening. I just feel like I had to talk about white knights and male feminists and just really get this off my chest because it's such bullshit. A lot of you probably already know what I'm talking about. Guys in the red pill manosphere, we should know about this. We should be educated about these guys. We should be educated about the bullshit, about the double standards there. But anyway, I'm going to end it there. Appreciate you listening. It's Jay Lee, another Northwest podcast. Peace.